Okay. Hi, I'm Shaylin. I almost said Shay. I'm sorry.
It's okay, because I'm Shay. And this is Shay Scare Lounge. I like that we both did the motions, hands.
Yes, we're in sync. Um,
About damn time.
today,
It's only
today we're
20 years
talking
since we
about,
recorded.
yeah, it takes time to master the skill. Um, today we're talking about one of my favorite films, The Craft. If you didn't guess by our backgrounds. Um, did you just watch it or you were just
No,
refreshing your memory, right?
refreshing,
Okay. I
refreshing.
was
Yes.
like, I don't think we could be friends anymore if you've never
No,
seen this movie. Like I
no.
almost
I
was
just wanted
very
to
disappointed.
refresh for the show.
You mean you
You
don't watch it
know.
weekly like I do?
No, but I
I
was watching it and I forgot Ski Ulrich was in it.
don't. Greasy Skeet, but he's not greasy
He's
yet,
not
and
greasy
as a
yet.
result, not as hot. I will just say
Yeah, his hair
it's weird,
was
right? It's
weird.
too
The
short.
shorter his hair was, he wasn't as hot.
Yeah, the less hot. Like he ended up in Scream after this, and then he
Hmm.
became hot. And
Along with
now,
Nev Campbell.
yes, like I like to mention that he's even hotter now. If you
Yeah,
look him
he's
up,
on
like
what's that
yeah,
show? The
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
I don't watch that show, but I
Neither do I.
just
Yes.
anyway.
Hmm.
I channeled my inner Nancy with my wardrobe today.
I
I hope you
see. I
appreciate
tried
my
with my
color.
hair, but it was interesting.
Um.
He's
So yeah, what are your initial thoughts on this cult classic? Yes, right.
love, 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 love.
Do
I
go ahead.
just bringing
No,
me
go ahead.
back. Big nostalgia from high school where everyone thought we all thought we were witches. Whatever. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, this movie inspired girls everywhere and maybe some dudes to go buy. I know I went to
Candles.
buy books. Well, we didn't have a store like this in
No.
El Centro. And even the like witchcraft book I bought was such a poser book, but whatever. But my mom would not have approved. So I literally, used to wrap your books in grocery
Oh,
bags like for school. So I wrapped it and I hid it underneath my dresser because like that's how much I thought like, oh, I've got it, I'm gonna like invoke the spirit. And my friends and I
mhm,
tried. We were already weirdos like way before it was cool to be a weirdo. Now it's like
mhm.
fashion to be a weirdo, so
It's
whatever.
very trendy.
Yes.
Very trendy.
And I didn't see this right when it came out because it came out in 96, so I was in 6th grade, so I think
So
I
you
saw
were a
it 2 years
baby.
later.
I was in
Yes.
high
And
school.
yes, so I so good, you were the perfect age. I mean,
I
I
was.
I
I
think,
was who they were gearing this movie towards. Yes.
of course. I mean, by the time I saw it in 98, I definitely like I wore uniforms to go to school, except my uniforms weren't as cool at all like as there's a private school uniforms. I wore
Hmm.
public school uniforms that are mostly to like ward off gang colors. Like it's not the
Okay.
same like sexy
No.
schoolgirl fantasy. No, I literally wore the lamest uniforms. But I was
Mhm.
able to wear crazy chokers like I am now. Got one that said freak. I had one that says witch. My mom was like, why? What are you doing? And now looking back, I was 12. Why am I wearing a necklace that says freak? But whatever.
Because you're a
I loved it.
freak.
Yeah, but I remember my mom being like, why do you want to be a freak? And once I saw this movie and they do the whole like, we are the weirdos, mister. Like, I was like,
Love
oh,
that.
this is, there are people out there who aren't in a small town and they're just as weird as me. Of course, this movie takes a dark turn, gets a little.
Yes, as they said in the movie, there the was it Mamon Mamon what
Mano.
Mana?
Mano.
Yeah, when you invoke him, how the outcome is depends on whether you take it to a good place or a bad place.
Yeah, which
So
I
it depends
believe
on
because, yeah,
yeah.
when the lady says, like, no black or white, it depends on the witch.
Hmm.
And of course, you get somebody, from a rough, growing up. So
Background,
then
yeah.
once she gets power, she wants more and more power and then takes it
Hmm.
to a scary, which I feel like we
Well,
all would.
yeah, especially if you were bullied and abused and you grow up like super poor, you're gonna you're going to and you get that much power really quickly, you're going to try to control everything and you want the power already from like Greasy Skeet, who is, Chris Hooker. not a nice not a nice boy in this
Yeah,
movie.
but we all knew a guy like that. I
Yeah.
mean, unfortunately, those exist. They always will. They
Hmm.
usually end up losers in the long run. So I just tell
She
any
ends up
young
killing
girls,
him.
don't don't lose sleep over that guy who doesn't like you because you're a
Yeah.
nerd, whatever.
Right.
He
Right.
won't go far.
Right.
Uh, so he's peaking in high school basically, and yeah,
That
because then
happens,
he
yes.
even gets like scary. He's like the borderline. He's trying to like rape her out
Yeah,
of the
like
car.
he gets way too aggressive in his
Yeah,
spell when she casts a spell for him to love her, and then he goes overboard. Because you always, it goes back to be careful what you wish for.
exactly. And the lady in the store says whatever you push
Hmm.
out comes back to you times three. And of
Right.
course, I think it's Rochelle who's like, "What? I didn't read that in any book." And the lady's like, "Well, no shit. You're like,
Like it's not in a
that's
book,
just
you
what witches
dumbass.
know." Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think my friends and we didn't go to the dark side, but we definitely tried love spells on people,
Yes, we definitely tried
like the
spells
Chris
and stuff.
Hookers of our
Hmm.
school. Did you do
Yes.
the light as a feather, stiff as a board?
Yes, of course. Along
Did
with
it
every
work?
other, well, you like to think it did. Just like when you play with the Ouija board, you like to think it's moving. Like you can convince yourself of these things. I don't remember, honestly.
Then in true, form, the mom walks in and like ruins it, because mom's like trying to be nice, bringing in towels, thinks they're on
Yeah.
drugs. Yeah. Typical parent.
Right.
Uh,
What's going on in here? There. Yeah.
I mean, is
And
that better than drugs or worse?
did they ever explain, so Nev Campbell's character's covered in burns,
Mm-hmm.
like along her back and her neck. Did
Bonnie, yeah.
they explain why?
I know it's just like something that happened to her when she was younger, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Yeah, because
then,
they kind of gave the girls backstories, but not like in depth.
yeah, a little bit. I think it goes into Sarah and Nancy's stories the
Mm-hmm.
most, kind of like their relationships with their moms.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sarah, we all know that's why she moved and she
Right.
her mom passed away when she was born,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And so she's kind of like damaged in that way and
Right.
seeking friends, or just somewhere to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And Nancy's just, I do love her mom though. Like when she gets a jukebox of just Connie Francis and like she has that cute little outfit. I don't know. I like that whole scene. If I
And
came
she wants
into
to
100,
explain to her friend. She's like, "Wait, girls, let me explain Connie Francis."
but they come into $175,000 from the life insurance of that piece of shit. So I love that
Right.
whole like how it plays out.
Right. So do you have any, you said you have some notes there. So what do you got there?
Oh yes, let's see. Because I thought I should actually look up some facts about this movie because I've watched it forever.
Hmm.
Literally, probably plays in my house like once a week, just as background noise. I love it. Very comforting. Um, so I was reading. Clearly none of them are actually high school age.
Right.
That's popular in film. Now I feel like young people actually play the roles, but back then wasn't the
Hmm.
case. And
No.
I was reading about actress Rachel True, who plays Rochelle, that she was 30. Of course,
Oh,
she's gorgeous, but her
okay.
manager didn't want to pursue the role for her. So she fired her manager, got a new manager, got the role, obviously. And then they ended up rewriting a little bit of the script because you know how her kind of relationship with the blonde who played Marsha.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Marsha. Yeah.
She
I forget her name.
she's forever Marsha.
It's Marsha,
It
Marsha,
turns
Marsha.
into like a race thing.
Yeah.
So that was changed when she was cast. Before it was going to be like an
Oh.
eating disorder. Yeah. So
Oh.
and unfortunately there was like a little bit of racism they say in like PR stuff after the film was released because she didn't get a lot of the opportunities that everyone else did.
Oh.
So interesting little fact. But she's gorgeous. And I mean, I think she was the oldest one. The rest, I think, are, they're in their 20s. But,
Hmm.
that's probably why I thought that's what I was going to look like in high school. But in reality, I still looked like 12, because you're watching this movie and I'm like, oh, I'm
Hmm.
going to be like a woman magically in a
No.
year, And then
No.
I did not look like that.
No.
Probably around 25, I looked like that. Uh, so let's see other little facts. Nancy Perusa Ball, who I feel like I always get her name wrong, but
I know.
it's a great name. she grew up, she's a child actor. And then
I loved her. I think her first movie was The Worst Little Witch
yes, I
with
was
Tim
gonna say I
Curry.
like,
Love
yeah, of course, Tim Curry forever.
forever.
And she is actually Wiccan in real life, or she was at the time of the movie. And they said she bought that store that she was studying
How
at
cute.
just for a little while. I think she ended up selling it after, but she's great.
I
She's
do
like the
wish I
water
had a
boy.
store like that around me.
Me too. I think the closest I ever got was like, I don't know, a head shop or something, and like they had the curtain in the back, and I was like, oh, is this where they have like the magic stuff? This is not where they had magic stuff. I think it was like dirty movies or something, but the thought was there. Let's see what else is on my notes. I take notes when I know I'm really going to be struggling. Anyway,
Always on the
they were
struggle
saying,
bus, really.
right, constantly. So when they were invoking the spirit in that scene, they said a lot of crazy stuff was happening. They had a power outage for everything that was there, went out. And then the waves were only crashing when Nancy was saying, like really invoking and saying the line with Mano and everything. So they were all freaked out, it's already kind of a scary vibe, but they believed something was really happening. So,
well,
but
that's cool.
yeah, I would have liked to be there.
Like it.
That would have been cool.
Oh, yeah.
The glamour scene where she changes her hair color. Yes, I know. I love that. The editing is so great. Now they were just CGI, or was CGI? It was around then.
It was like about
either
that,
way.
I mean,
Well,
you could tell her hair was like glowing. It wasn't like blonde. It was just like
yeah.
they just changed like the coloring of it, so it was like a glowing color.
Well, it was a wig both times because she had just done Empire Records, another favorite film of mine, where she in the opening scene shaves her head. So it was a wig the whole movie, a great wig. Like now,
it was, yeah.
I figured she made this movie and then did Empire Records, but now that I read that, I was looking and I'm like, that is a great wig. Maybe I just buy cheap wigs.
I was wondering about that because it did look. There were moments where it looked fake.
Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, is it her head? I don't know.
Well, because they're doing other weird wigs, like when what's her name, Marsha is losing her hair, and she has that crazy, oh my gosh, that seems scary too. But she deserved it. She was a bitch.
Yes. So you want to do this to this person, right? You're like, oh, I want something bad to happen to her, and why is the question not, will she know why? Because she didn't understand.
Yeah, she's literally like, I don't understand.
She just, woo, yeah, I don't understand. But I'm like, at what point do you go, maybe don't be a bitch?
Well, because then she'd get in front, like she doesn't want to actually reveal that it was her.
But then how can you reveal that you did that? Come on now.
I think indirectly though, she does understand that it's because she's a bitch, because then she can't be as like hoity-toity when she's bald, So
right, and then she went up and like kind of apologized.
Yeah, when she's wearing a clear wig, like that is like a Halloween wig that I wear. When she's wearing that, I was like, come on, this girl has money. They would have got her a better wig than that, for the party scene. But I get it. It's supposed to be clear that she went bald.
Right.
But at that point, yeah, I know you always like to remind people that revenge is not good and we should all just be nice to each other. But which I agree. But when somebody else does it, when someone else is doing it, maybe I applaud it a little bit. I don't do it myself. The best revenge is living well, as you tell me, which is true. That's what I follow. Well, that's what I follow. But in this movie, I'm like, get her,
Yeah, no, I agree. Like if I'm watching a movie, I watch like revenge movies all the time. But, in reality, I'm like, nope.
But like you're saying, you always hope they like end up realizing that. But people don't. People only care about themselves.
I know.
That's fine. The soundtrack, incredible. I always listen to this in the shower. It's very dramatic. Always loved it.
I love it.
The main song is it was a Smith song.
Yeah.
The other band, Love Spit Love, covers it. The House Moon Is Now, incredible song. I love all versions of it.
The main song, the first one there, it's actually they reused it for Charmed.
Oh, I never watched that show.
I know, you should have. It's actually really good. It was one of my favorites. But all the snakes and the bugs were real in the movie.
Well, some. I think the one they're real, but they aren't on her. Because I looked at it before, when I think it's on her face or something, I
The
think
one
it's
on
a
her face was
dummy.
fake. Yes, the
Yeah,
one on her face was fake, but like everything else was real.
this
And
is
then how are
crazy.
you
I
not
don't know.
freaking out? Like they're crawling all over your hands and you're just doing this fake out. I
You're
mean,
an
fucking, I would be like flipping out. I'd be like, oh,
I mean, she grew up, rough. Maybe they
it's
had
true.
roaches,
You grew up super
I'm in
poor
New
in the
York.
trailer
I
park,
don't
so
get
you may
that
have.
scared. I'm
you-
used to seeing rats. So and I thought that is an issue where like I used to see one and be like, and now I just like try and run at it, which rats do not run away. They like take their stand at you. I don't know.
Good to know.
Yeah. Well, there's like a strike going on with the sanitary workers, so there's nobody picking up trash. So what happens when trash builds up? Rats. Yes.
Yuck. I used to have rats.
So like pet rats?
Thelma and Louise.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's cute. My friend
Yes.
Carrie had a pet rat and it bit me, so I didn't like it.
Well, I had two. One
Um,
was gray and brown, or brown and white, and the other one was just white. And the brown and white one would sit and watch TV with me. And the
I'm
white
just
one was
picturing
not.
it
It was
on
me
your shoulder.
sit and watch TV. And the other one was not very nice. She was that was Louise. She was the bitch.
That
And
must be why. She was white.
yes,
Did she
all
have red
albino
eyes?
one. She's albino rat.
That was the one that bit me.
And
The
then
white
she
one.
ended up having a tumor, and then killed her friend, and then died of loneliness.
What?
Or of her
Wait,
tumor, or whatever. She had a big tumor growing out of her neck at the end.
did that make her kill the friend?
It maybe made her crazy. I don't know.
Maybe it was a parasitic twin and it made her do it. I'm gonna defend Louise.
There you go.
But yeah, I like that. I love Thelma and Louise. What else? Oh, so they followed all the rules to be a PG-13 film, but they were given an R rating.
Simply because of the witchcraft in it.
Which makes sense, I guess.
You can't get away from the witchcraft. It's the craft. Although, where did they get that book, The Craft? I want that book.
Which one? The $25 one?
The one craft book, not the Invoke the Spirit one, but the one that they originally are like, oh, the craft. It says the craft.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I want that book.
I was like, wow, how affordable to invoke the spirit. $25.
Act now.
They don't give you all the candles and everything and the energy, so it's not that cheap.
That's true.
But yeah, any other? Can you just how many greasy skeets do you give the craft?
I say 5 out of 5.
Obviously. 5 out of 5. It's on the level of Scream for me,
Well, it has
Not
two
just
of the
'cause-
people in Scream.
Yes, and it was the same year, I think. Yeah, the best. Until next time.
But follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and like, subscribe, share, whatever, ding the bell. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do on fucking YouTube? I don't even know. But do what you do on YouTube, and listen to us on iTunes and Spotify, and rate and review, and I think that covered it.
Yes.
Okay. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. I did do makeup.
I'm proud. No, but I mean to like fix little things. Don't try and get another clip where you are gonna claim I said you aren't wearing. Fuck off.